Adelita Grijalva.
Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you to my colleague and friend, Congressman Stanton, for that kind introduction, and to the entire Democratic delegation from Arizona and the delegation that stood here with me that has supported me throughout this process. I rise today the proud granddaughter of a bracero, a hardworking Mexican immigrant who came to this country for a better life, and I stand as the proud daughter of a U.S. congressman, a man who spent his entire life fighting for justice, equity, and dignity for the most vulnerable. From working as a vaquero to serving in Congress in just a single generation, that is the promise of this country. That is the America I want to raise my three beautiful children in, Adelina, Raul, and Joaquin. Stand up, baby. Look at them. They, along with my amazing husband, Sol, and my wonderful mama, Ramona, are here with me today. Muchas gracias por su apoyo y tu amor. And thank you to la gente of Southern Arizona for making history, electing me, the first Latina, the first Chicana from Arizona to ever go to Congress. Este momento es histórico para nuestra comunidad. Es un honor ser la primera latina en representar a Arizona en el Congreso y les aseguro que aunque soy la primera, no será la última. And while we celebrate this moment today, our American promise is under serious threat. Basic freedoms are under attack. Healthcare premiums are skyrocketing. Babies are being ripped away from their parents by masked agents. We can and must do better. What is most concerning is not what this administration has done, but what the majority in this body has failed to do. Hold Trump accountable as a co-equal branch of government that we are. It has been 50 days since the people of Arizona's 7th Congressional District elected me to represent them. 50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves. This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons. Our democracy only works when everyone has a voice. This includes the millions of people across the country who have experienced violence and exploitation, including Liz Stein and Jessica Michaels, both survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. They are here in the gallery with us this evening. Thank you for being here.
Uh-oh.
Just this morning, House Democrats released more emails showing that Trump knew more about Epstein's abuses than he previously acknowledged. It's past time for Congress to restore its role as a check and balance on this administration and fight for we, the American people. We need to fight for our immigrant communities and veterans. We need to stand up for our public schools, children, and educators. We need to respect tribal sovereignty in our environment. We need to stand up for LGBTQ plus rights, because that's what the American people expect us to do. Fight for them. That is why I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files. Justice cannot wait another day. Adelante, mi gente. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. I yield back.
She's signing the papers, y'all. Someone's in trouble.
Under Clause 5 of Rule 20, the chair announces to the House that in light of the administration of the oath of the gentleman from Arizona, the whole number of the House is now 433.
Somebody's in trouble. I guess that was it. I guess that was it. Somebody's in trouble. But I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna hold water to wait. I'm not gonna hold water to wait, because them damn files could be distorted. Not distorted, but the word is the correct word would be tampered. Possibly, maybe. But we'll see. We will freaking see. This is historic. Mike didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it, but they had to come up with some type of a deal, which they did, and was it a good deal? No. Was it a shitty deal? In my opinion, yes. But the 8 Democrats that couldn't wait and couldn't hold their urine to save their life just happened to say, screw it, let's open up government again with some token traits. So I want to congratulate Congresswoman, I can't even pronounce her name. I cannot even pronounce her name. What is her name again? Adelita. I want to congratulate Adelita being in Congress. Thank you, Mike. You slow some bitch. Finally swearing her in. Thank you. Now she can get to work in her district in Arizona. Thank you. But this is not over yet. It's not over yet. Until some real work gets done, it is not over yet. But again, congratulations. Now, with that being out the way, let's do this.
And like empirical like justification for said principle, right? Like I could debate like your normative principle that you think abortion is wrong because it's killing a human. I'm being able to point out some cognitive incoherence and like an internal contradiction with another belief that you hold to be the case, right? Like maybe such as the idea that you don't think it's wrong nor in order to pull the plug on a brain dead patient, even though they are biologically alive and classified as a human, without like exploring your meta-ethical view insofar as like the fact that maybe you think that.
What do you mean by humans?
Okay. Let's switch gears. Now that Adelita is being sworn in Congress. Good for her. I'm going to switch gears. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and check, or I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to Dean Withers' live stream and listen to him debate Trump supporters. It's quite interesting, to be perfectly honest with you. I can't debate because I get too angry. I can see I get too angry too quick. I'm not a debater. I am not a debater. I can say some shit that's factual that I looked up, and it's either on the internet, on some files, on some shit. I put it on there, but people always want to dispute. They always want to, counteract facts. I don't have the patience. This guy does, and he's only 21 years old. I will concede. For a white boy, I would definitely concede. I will concede. He has patience. I don't. And I'm 45, so.
Negative right in this sense could be defined as a freedom that obligates others to refrain from interfering with an individual's action. Particularly a right to life would be a freedom that would obligate others to not end your life.
So that negative right would be to directly violate someone's human right to life.
Well, no, that's what the right.
Is that what you're saying?
You asked me to tell you what that right is, and I told you what that right is. It would be a freedom to obligate others from ingressing and ending your life. Now, when you want to get back to debating about why you support Trump, are you employed? This is an unemployed conversation.
What do you mean?
It's a very unemployed conversation. You're not debating me on why you support Trump. You're asking me what a Kantian negative right is.
I find it comedy that you think using bigger words makes you sound smarter.
Buddy, that's what it's called.
Smarter. When actually,
buddy,
it's not that his use of bigger words makes him smarter. It's that he is smarter than you, quite frankly, objectively.
I knew how to pronounce an unanimous. It's pretty simple.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's like second grade English class.
Buddy, I don't know what to.
Question to y'all Trump supporters. Y'all pathetic. Most of y'all can't even hold a conversation. Y'all can't even hold a decent, more suitable conversation. You just come in with words and just jokes and slander and slang. It's quite pathetic, if you ask me. But like I said, I don't have the patience to be holding a debate with anyone, especially with MAGA, or what I would call them maggots. They do. Well, congratulations to them.
We can ask this question.
That's comedy.
Where in the human body does conception occur?
What a pivot.
But the guy isn't here for a debate about why he supports Trump. Hey, sir, I'm going to go.
Let him respond. Where in the human body?
Yeah, I don't think he is going to respond. He's going to say, what a pivot, and he's going to refuse to answer.
Muted. You can hear him looking it up, bro.
Oh, my God. Yo, Lady Teapot, I appreciate you for the $20 upfront super chat, saying I donate to whoever I want.
This all feels familiar. You got people wanting to debate Umar, but no, you don't. You have people who don't want to debate Umar, but people want to debate this guy. And to me, he's doing a good job at it. It takes patience. It takes, you know, substance, reading or education, reading all that shit, and just staying on topic, staying on topic, staying on topic. A lot of people just come up here and just want to just switch topics on you on your own life. Believe me, I've had people do that to me. I don't have the patience for it.
How old are you?
18.
Okay, what year were you born in?
04/11/2007.
Okay, why do you support Trump as president?
I listened to Charlie Kirk a lot. Also his policies during COVID-19.
What policies, man?
Operation Warp Speed and the CARES Act.
That's dangerous.
Okay, name one provision in the CARES Act you like.
I'll be honest, I hate Trump. Keep going, guys. Love you.
Okay, goodbye. Moving on to the next guest right now. A couple of people to thank here. Johnny, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Thank you so much, Johnny. I want to see 500 Johnny W's down below in that chat while we're looking for that very next guest to get up here to have a conversation with. Johnny with a $50. Once again, thank you so much, man. That is so incredibly kind of you. Says, I just wanted to suggest take part of the stream to talk about those on the fence and address their hangups. The comments is not always the best place for them since some of them don't know what to look for or since they don't know what to look for. You know, Johnny, that's actually a fairly good point. I actually agree with you. Like maybe sometimes people just don't know what to look for in a conversation would be beneficial. I think that's a good idea. Thank you for the recommendation, Johnny. Good to see you. I know that you're always hanging out in here with us. And thank you so much for the $50, my friend. Show some big ol' love to Johnny down below. As well as Unpop Popcorn. Thank you so much for the 200 Norwegian dollars saying, hey, love your lives. Thank you so much for the love. Please, 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 please show some love to
Operation Warp Speed. Operation Warp Speed was a public-private partnership in intelligent or investigated by the United States. I need to be a sound mind, so let me start over. Operation Warp Speed, OWS, was publicly/privately partnershiped, interrogated by the United States government to Damn, these fucking words are starting to get to me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write down. Oh, there was a dog in here. I'm gonna write down each freaking word. Basically, Alice salaries to develop manufacturing and develop distributing of COVID-19 vaccines, therapeutically and dynastics, excuse me. The first news report of Operation Warp Speed was on April 29th, 2020. Oh, okay. So Operation Warps, I didn't know about this. So in 2020, who was the president then? In 2020, I think Trump was president then. was president in year 2020? Who was president in year 2020? Who was president? Donald J. Trump. I was right. Donald J. Trump was president in year 2020 when Operation Warp Speed was created or developed or whatever. So, the plot thickens. Forgive me, this is the first I've known of OWS. This is the first I've known. If someone said it, if someone mimicked or spewed at it, then, and I didn't know, please, I apologize. I did not know. Operation Warp Speed was announced, like I said, April 29th, 2020, and the program was officially announced on May 15th, 2020. It was headed by some name I can't pronounce. From May 2020 till January 2021, and by David A. Kessler, David A. Kessler, from January to February of 2021. At the end of February 2024, Operation Warp Speed was transferred into the responsibilities of the White House COVID-19 response team. No wonder they wanted everybody vaccinated. No wonder. But now that I know, let's get back into it.
Yes, yeah.
How is that? How does that work?
Dean, you want to explain why, Chew?
Well, I'm so sorry. What's that? I'm looking at breaking news.
He's asking how tariffs take money from the poor and give to the rich.
Oh, yeah, it's because the less money you make, the greater proportion of your income you spend on the bare essentials to live, and all consumption as a whole, meaning that regressively impacts you more the less money you make, right? Which in turn reduces the purchasing power of low-income Americans disproportionately compared to that of higher-income Americans.
Okay, no, and I agree on that as well. Part of the reason I wanted to get up here, first off, I do support Trump, but I also support you guys giving opportunities to folks to come up to even talk and discuss it.
Cool. So I guess we fail to see why you still support Trump after everything that we just said.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's more reasons to.
And oh, by the way, those are the same tariffs he wants to use to gain access to give the people of the United States $2,000 in a stimulus package, which that doesn't make any sense, because I think in one tariff, I might be wrong, is worth $186 million, something like that. In other words, how the hell where is he going to get the money from? He doesn't have the money to give each and every single individual $2,000 in a stimulus package. He doesn't have the money.
One thing that Dean brought up earlier that was an incredibly important point is that House Republicans quite literally voted on like an amendment that specifically went over the fact that it was going to take the $40 billion that's going to Argentina, and it was going to instead direct that to extending the ACA subsidies for 2 years, which means Americans' healthcare premiums would be lowered for 2 years, which is very beneficial. Now, without that, many Americans are going to see their premiums doubling, in some instances tripling and quadrupling.
Yeah, no, I mean that's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate thing.
So, like, I mean, if you're America first, wouldn't you want that that money to go to Americans rather than to people in Argentina?
Say that one more time. I apologize.
Wouldn't you prefer that money to go to Americans and reducing their healthcare premiums rather than that money to go to Argentina?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So then it seems like you're disagreeing with where Republicans are standing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% on either side here. I mean, I picked Trump over any other candidate. His policies and his kind of ideology, I feel like for me was more accepted. Not everything. I'm not 100%.
Trump just announced $2,000 stimulus checks. Here's what he says. According to Trump, a dividend of at least $2,000 a person would be paid to everyone, except the fact that everyone means except high-income earners. Meaning he will use revenue from collected tariffs to send checks to most Americans. Trump also mentioned that he is considering a 50-year mortgage to ease monthly mortgage payments for Americans. We're going to talk about both right now. Well, if 130 million eligible adults got $2,000 checks each, the cost of that would be around $260 billion. But current tariff revenue through about September is only around $195 billion. So the math here doesn't really add up yet for full funding of these payments. And speaking of funding, who really pays for the tariffs? The short answer is you. Americans pay more through higher prices on imported goods. Next, that tariff revenue goes to the government. The government gives back $2,000 as a dividend, and that dividend is essentially returning a fraction of the payment that we've already paid. Now, there's going to be a challenge with getting the $2,000 checks actually passed. You see, many of the tariffs underlying the $2,000 checks are actually being challenged legally. The court said that President...
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to cause more harm than good. Even if this were to occur, you will cause more harm. You will cause more harm than good to the people in this country. I'm telling you, you're going to pay for it. You are going to pay for it. Don't fall into it. Do not fall into it. I'm telling you, it's no good. I'm telling you. But let me continue.
Potential tariff power may actually be limited. The payout plan for this will also require congressional approval, not just a presidential announcement or a tweet or a post on Truth Social. On top of this, inflation is still elevated. Throwing more money at consumers may fuel more inflation, which simply means that we're going to fuel the exact situation we are trying to solve, which is lower prices. So let's recap here. The promise of the tariff dividend is cash from the tariffs. The reality is that consumers actually fund their own relief in part, along with the revenue that we get from other countries. Now, the risk here is inflation, the deficit, and legal barriers. Now, let's talk about the 50-year mortgage announcement. According to Trump, he would like to stretch the standard 30-year loan to 50 years. The goal here being smaller monthly payments, the trade-off being higher total interest. And the result, slower equity and longer debt. Let's see how this plays out in the real world. Say we have a $350,000 loan at 6% interest. On the 30-year loan, the monthly payment is around $2,100. On the 50-year loan, the monthly payment is around $1,850. Let's look at total interest. On the 30-year, we're at $405,000 across the life of the loan. On the 50-year loan, the interest is $755,000. So you save $250 on a monthly basis, but you increase your interest in total by $350,000. Now, some will say this is bad. Some will say this is good. Let's look at both sides. Supporters say that access.
You're not including insurance. You're not even including insurance for your house.
This matters most. Critics say that the costs simply don't outweigh the benefits. Let's look at this deeper. Critics, 20 more years equals hundreds of thousands in extra payments. Supporters will say that if you invest the difference there, that around $250 a month in our last example, you'll gain around $4 million in the stock market. So yes, you have more interest, but you have more gains when you invest it. Okay, critics will say that home prices will simply just rise to the level of the savings per month, while supporters will say that, okay, forced appreciation is a good thing. And lastly, critics will say that it actually misses the root issue here, which is high build costs and simply all the red tape to actually build in the United States. Supporters will say that, hey, it opens doors, it makes buying possible for families who would otherwise be priced out. So where do you stand on the fence here? Do you support the 50-year mortgage? Are you a critic of the 50-year mortgage? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you're wondering whether you should take the 50-year mortgage, first you want to compute the monthly payment, right?
No. As I stated, it wouldn't work. And here's why.
It is not going to be given to those that are high income. What that means to him, I don't know. But those that are high income earners, they will not.
Rich people. High income earners are basically rich folks.
You are.
Or people who make six figures.
Single stimulus package that has been thrown out there, especially the COVID one. You cannot look at the monetary issues without addressing some of their spending efforts.
I can't believe this. I switched up. I went from Dean from the stimulus checks because everybody's arguing on, we're going to get stimulus. We're going to get this $2,000 stimulus. No, you're not. No, you're not. Without even paying what you're going to get stimulus and you're going to end up paying the price. It's bad enough that you got the first stimulus. That's bad enough in itself, but that's for emergency. That was for emergency purposes. It should have been more than, I think it was like $1,400 or something like that. The first time around, 14 or 1,200. Let's just say it was 12. Then it was 600. Then it was 14. Then it was whatever, how much you made in income, whatever. That's bad enough. You had to give up resources to even give people stimuluses. And you had to pay that back in taxes.
Especially these stimulus packages and just giving out money, thus increasing the money supply. Now, what some people have said, because that's what he said, and this is why I want you guys to take a step back. This is all that I ask of everybody that watches my show and everybody that listens to me. I'm not asking for you to agree with me. I'm not asking for any of that. What I want you to do is take a step back, maybe zoom out just a little bit and think critically about this entire situation. I want you to go look at the facts for yourself. I want you to actually not run on, even if you like this guy, even if you like this current administrations or members of it. I just want you to actually go for yourself. Don't take my word for anything. For yourself, go actually look at the numbers and put two and two together.
Yep.
The idea that the tariffs, that this isn't a stimulus or this is somehow permissible because they're using the tariff money, it requires you to, number one, believe the statement, but most importantly, it requires you to suspend economic reality, okay? The government spends in a deficit right now. The only way that that money could technically be not a stimulus was if it was somehow the money that they're bringing in for the tariffs, the revenue supposedly that they're bringing in for the tariffs is more than the deficit. And if you are unfamiliar with what the deficit is, that is how much money that the government is spending every single fiscal year that they know they're not going to get. And that thus is added to the debt, okay? The latest numbers as far as their revenue reported by this own administration, they have collected approximately $200 billion in tariffs, okay?
$200 million in tariffs.
Again, zoom out. They're saying, or what Trump is saying, is that he's going to give $2,000 to everybody. What's ever left, which is nothing, by the way, I'll explain how, is going to pay off the debt. This is what I need you to understand. The current deficit right now for this fiscal year is $1.8 trillion. Estimated, right? Obviously, it always balloons. Remember doing this video not too long ago.
I suck at math, and I'm going to tell you, you're not going to make it. You want to pay off U.S. debt, which is 60 trillion. It's not 37 trillion. Okay, it's 60 plus trillion that we are in debt. On top of the fact that you're going to give everyone who is lower income $2,000 in stimulus out of the tariffs. Make it make sense. You're not going to be able to do it.
Go talking about this, and it wasn't projected to be that much. Now it is. Okay. So 100, or let's just round it up, $200 billion is nothing near covering the cost for the amount of money that they are overspending on in just
billion. Do the math, people. Billion versus a trillion. Trillion is another 3 zeros on top of the billion. That's we owe 60 trillion in debt. You're not going to, and on top of that, do you even have deals with these people? No, you don't. So you're still in debt. You haven't made no type of deals with any of these people overseas. Not with Brazil, not with Israel, none of them. Not with China, none of them. You haven't made any deals yet. They ain't gonna make no deals with you. You think Kim Jong-un is gonna make a deal with your punk ass? No. He has not. This is a guy. This is a president, not my president, not mine because I didn't vote for him. This is a guy is very delusional when it comes to saying what he has done for America, what he's done for American citizens. You have done nothing but cause terror. You say that crime is down, BS. You saying that the stock is up when it's down. I can tell you because there's nothing in my bank. There's nothing in my bank account, and I just looked just now. I'm down to my last $10 because of the stock being down. So there's that. And then you're talking about I've stopped wars on wars. You haven't stopped shit. You haven't stopped anything because Israel is still fighting with whoever, I can't even mention their names. But That's not important. What's important here is gas is still up, food is still up, we're still in an inflation higher than it's ever been before, and people have the nerve to deny, all because he did something with immigrations. The only thing credible to his credibility is to send troops to various cities and various states and cause havoc and put troops in American soil. Their foot touched the American soil. He's against the, what was it? The 19th, not 19th Amendment. What amendment was that? I think it was the 19th Amendment. You have to remind me. He doesn't care about amendments. He has completely violated the 1st, the 2nd, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. Is about to violate the 25th Amendment. And now he wants to give you a $2,000 stimulus package. Ain't gotta happen. But I guess this is what consumers were expecting, right?
Just in general, as far as the federal government is concerned, there is no money to give you. It's simply not. They would have to, just as they do with any other stimulus package, increase the money supply, or rather, just all in one, injecting this fake buying power into the economy by giving everybody this money that does not exist. I understand what he's saying. I understand that you're a fan of it. I know a lot of y'all disagree with me on tariffs. I'm just giving you the facts. They're not anywhere close to bringing in enough tariff money, which is just taxes anyway, bringing in enough tariff money in order to say that they're no longer spending in a deficit. They are spending in a deficit. They're continuing to spend in a deficit, and they're counting on you. Every single agent of the state is counting on you, simply not understanding how much, well, they're counting on you, misunderstanding how money works. We keep excusing any administration, doesn't matter whether it's Trump's, Biden's, Obama's, and whoever will inherit it in the future. And the Congress, whether it's majority Democrat, majority Republican, we let these guys get away with lying. We let the guys get away with kicking the can down the road. I remember back in March, you can go watch my old videos. Everybody said that we had to, with that continuing resolution, we had to compromise because, well, in September, which is past, it is come and gone, they were going to address the spending efforts then. Guess what? The spending efforts never got addressed.
And they were never going to get addressed. Simply put, the United States, get this through your thick skulls, people. The United States is a joke. It's a fucking joke, dude. It is a. I can't believe people are seeing it with a naked eye. But most of us have our third eyes open already. Most of us know that even with this, they're giving you money just to say later on you're gonna have to pay for it. It's just like giving you a fucking loan. If you want a loan, go to a loan shop or go to these loan companies and get you a loan. And then they're going to charge interest like a motherfucker. 12, 13% interest. And if you're lucky, if you pay it back, you don't have to, they don't charge you with interest. But once day 1, day 2, day 5, day 10, all the way where you have to, the date that you have to pay it back, they're going to charge interest. That's the same thing with this stimulus package. They give you $2,000, and guess what? You're going to have to pay for it back in taxes. That means you're going to owe taxes. They're not going to give you your taxes back if you're lucky. You're going to end up owing taxes. Jesus Christ.
Because they never were going to get addressed.
Joke.
That is just something to calm you down when you say, guys, you're spending out of control. This inflation rate, everybody knows, is bogus. It's not just 3%. It's never been just 3%. Everybody that spends money understands that their money is not going as far as what it had in the past. Whatever the inflation rate, core or not, whatever the inflation rate is that they tell you, you can always count on it being more than that. Everybody feels that. And if you want to address it, we're talking about all of these Band-Aid issues. Now they want 50-year mortgages. And instead of just fixing the money, which would require you to get your spending under control, but instead of fixing the money, everything is a Band-Aid. Everything is like a short-term fake solution, which oftentimes.
This call me crazy, but you know how you fix the money? You lower the costs of everything. You're basically just starting over. You're going to endure hard times, but ain't nothing different from what we're enduring right now. But you're basically going to have to bite it, eat it, swallow it, and just say, hey, let's just start over. I mean, the United States is going to collapse anyway. So you might as well just start the fuck over. That's all you might as well. Because in the end, money is going to be obsolete. Paper is going to be obsolete. So if you don't have no gold, no silver, no platinum, none of that, you're fucked. You are federally fucked. I invested in gold. I invested in silver a long time ago. I gotta reinvest again. And you know, gold. Everybody knows. I can't believe I'm saying this, but gold is more expensive than silver. Silver is more expensive than copper. Blah 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 blah. But it's worth more value than paper because paper has been distorted across history, and each and every time they move the goalpost, the money gets even the debt deficit. The debt gets larger and larger and larger and larger each and every single goddamn year, and you wonder why you can't even. These companies can't even give you not a higher salary, but a higher wage. You're going to be working your ass off for the rest of your life unless you hit the lottery or you've been hustling and saving so much money that you're comfortable in a way. But how many people are comfortable? And in a percentage, how many people are comfortable? Right? How many people are comfortable in their living situations? I wait.
Increases their deficit spending, increases the debt, increases inflation, and thus exacerbates the issue. That's what we are always forced to deal with, and I think a lot of it has to do with the increases in the money. Everything is a Band-Aid. Everything is like a short-term fake solution, which oftentimes increases their deficit spending, increases the debt, increases inflation, and thus exacerbates the issue. That's what we are always forced to deal with, and I think a lot of it has to do with the cult of personality in politics. And I don't care who you support or who you find favorable. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of, I got to trust this guy. I think that the person that they either run against is much worse, and therefore I have to hold my nose with every single thing, and your tongue with every single thing that they do. And I would make the argument that that's what got us in this problem. If you want to fix the issues that plague this country, whether it be regular individuals, regular Americans, regular families, just simply not being able to have their money go as far, small business owners, you have to fix the money. I kept making this argument back in March. This issue of spending is not an issue, it's the issue from which all of these economic problems stem from. It is the issue. There is no way that you can try to address it in rather in isolation. Like you look at these other issues and you try to rank it, and then simultaneously everybody's money's going to crap, and then you're sitting here looking like, well, how do we fix it? Guys, it has to be addressed, and that is going to come with some harsh realities, not necessarily admitted by you all, but by the government. I'm going to talk about the shutdown here in a bit and kind of how this sort of aids my position here, but that has to get addressed. It has to. People understand that that's the problem. The money's the problem. The money has always been the problem.
The government is not going to risk holding themselves accountable for the messes that they have made throughout the centuries. It has never been the case. Well, this is the reason why I respect George Carlin, because even George Carlin says that political figures are made and designed to thinking that you have a freedom of choice. A freedom of choice to do what? Vote for a particular figure that has your best interest. They don't, and they never have. You say, vote for me vis-a-vis Donald Trump, vis-a-vis Joe Biden, vis-a-vis Barack Obama, vis-a-vis George Bush, vis-a-vis Bill Clinton, vis-a-vis Nixon. You get my point. They do not have your best interests. If they did, you and your families would be in a way better position than you are right now. You know these people that I see every day, these senior citizens. Why are they still working? In my heyday, and I'm a Gen Xer, in my heyday, I'm used to seeing senior citizens 65 and up relaxing because and they're collecting money through their Social Security. There were retirement checks. And people with disabilities chilling. Not so much anymore. Because these people, these elitists, are taking it all back, including your Social Security, so they can give it to their friends on Wall Street. You got to read into some of this stuff.
Money is the problem. And we're not talking about disposable income. We're talking about people trying to just eat, trying to live. Necessary spending.
Mm-hmm.
Which thus hurts everybody. Even if you are someone, even like the Rippaverse, right? We don't sell these like necessity goods. These are luxury goods. By all account, are luxury goods. So when the economy is not doing that great, we still suffer. People don't have disposable income. Why on earth would they be thinking about buying a comic book when they're trying to keep the lights on? Boom. When they're trying to put food on the table? When they're trying to support their family?
Boom. Because each and every time inflation goes up, the money for each and every single family gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And you don't have the nerve to sit in here and wonder, well, I got to go get this. I got to go get these Jordans. I got to go get these shoe or these dress, I don't know what young kids today get. I don't know what they get. I don't know what they buy, but it's just bullshit. If it's weed from a dispensary, whatever. If anything, you should be saving up your money for a fucking vacation. Because you're only gonna get one vacation once or twice a year. And you're gonna have to skip. You take the kids to Momo's. That's it, yeah. Oops. All right. I gotta leave this where it is. Jeff. Ooh. Breaking news. Breaking news. As soon as this. Come on. Get out of the way. Breaking news. Breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein says Trump spent hours with one of his victims? The fuck? That's interesting. But yes, we all know she got sworn in. Like I said, congratulations, and Adelita, got sworn in today. Good, great. Hey, it's about time. But to finish this up, don't look at America for what it is right now. Look at America for what. Well, don't look at America for what it should be. Look at America. Look at the United States for what it is, and always will be. It's a money pit in which we are still in debt. So that $200, finito.
It impacts everybody of every industry, and it has to be addressed. And all I'm asking America, this is it. I just want you to think critically, and I want you to think for yourself. Not go based off of what people are saying, not go based off the rhetoric. I just want you to use your noggin. That's all I'm asking.
Been there, done that.